Officer, can we close the case now?
Close what case? Where's the evidence? Where's the witness? Who can prove Christine is the murderer?
This is the old maid who has served the mansion for 20 years. She just remembered something that was overlooked.
The night before the murder, right before the storm came, I was tidying up by the seaside and saw something I shouldn't have. Around 8 at night, I saw Mrs. Christine and Miss Stephanie talking alone by the beach near the reef. No one else, just the two of them.
How long did they talk? What was the atmosphere?
About 15 minutes. They stood close, started with low voices. Then Miss Stephanie got very agitated, pointed Mrs. Christine's nose and yelled. Mrs. Christine kept her head down, trembling all over. I was far away, only caught fragments. Marriage, liar. Tomorrow everyone will know. You can't run.
The night before the murder, Stephanie had already threatened you one last time by the sea. Forced you to admit the marriage was invalid and told you the next night at dinner she would expose you publicly.
She forced me. She forced me to divorce voluntarily, give up everything, or else she'd ruin me.
So the night before, they had already completely fallen out. Pushed to the edge like that, anyone would break down.
So her missing time, her breakdown, her motive, it all connects.
You begged her, didn't you?
I begged her to let me go. I could give her money, anything, but she wouldn't. She wanted to destroy me, trample me underfoot.
You weren't acting on impulse. You were pushed to the point of no return. That night by the sea, you already had murder in your heart. With both witness and evidence, Christine, confess. Final confirmation from forensics. The fatal drowning occurred around 22 o'clock. Cause of death, drowning, binding marks. Wait. Time of death. The fatal drowning occurred around 22 o'clock. At least 3 people can testify. No, it doesn't match at all. Around R2, everyone was in the live room, ran off. Ken had le proposed to refer out to lugger someone. Christine done forward joy the whole time by joy it's only fine, her sanger and tutover. And the victim was tied hand and foot, forcibly held underwater to drown, then dragged onto the beach alone requires physical strength. Christine is slim, has lived a life of ease for years. There's no way she had the strength to independently complete drowning, dragging the body, and faking the scene. There is a major reversal in the case. First, Stephanie's actual time of death was around 22 o'clock. At that moment, Christine was in the living room with an alibi. Second, the victim was drowned by force, then dragged onto the beach. Christine does not have enough physical strength to commit the crime alone.
Not her? Then the motive we had, the beach conversation, all of it was for nothing? But her reaction was so real. She broke down. It didn't look fake at all.
Motive, yes, but no opportunity, no capability. The real killer is someone else. Then who is it?
Someone strong, skilled with ropes, familiar with the island. Could it be?
Not me. Really not.
Christine was indeed threatened, indeed pushed to the edge. She has hatred, she has motive, but she is not the one who committed the murder. Someone used Christine's hatred, used this storm to do what she dared not and could not do themselves. I've repeatedly cross-checked everyone's alibis from that night and found a fatal contradiction. Stephanie's time of death was around 22 o'clock, but according to your earlier statements, after 21:30, she never appeared in the living room again. That means, during the half hour between 21:30 and 22 o'clock, Stephanie was not in the living room, and no one seemed to have seen her. Where did she go? She's been asked out. First, the killer lured Stephanie out of the living room for some reason. They went to the seaside, and there, the killer struck.
That means this wasn't a crime of passion in a quarrel. Someone deliberately lured her to the crime scene.
Exactly. 2 contacts. First, calling her away. Second, committing the act. The killer didn't act impulsively, but executed a premeditated murder step by step.
Then, who could have called her away? Stephanie was so shrewd. She wouldn't follow just anyone.
That's the key question. The only people Stephanie would lower her guard for and follow alone are 2 types. Those she trusted, or those holding leverage she wanted.
You mean the killer lured her with something Stephanie was interested in?
Made progress on that thing you wanted to check, or let's talk a dia late, you name the terms. She wouldn't pass up any chance to gain leverage over someone.
So the killer wasn't acting on impulse, first lured her out, then found a chance to strike.
That night the rain was pouring, the waves were crashing, no one would pass by the seaside. The killer chose this time and place because the body wouldn't be easily found and the evidence would be washed away by the waves. This was not someone pushed to the edge acting in haste. This was a calm, rational, premeditated person patiently waiting for prey to take the bait in the darkness. So let me revise my earlier judgment. The killer's not a lamb pushed to the edge, but a hunter wearing a mask. First create a reason to meet, lure the prey into the trap, then strike. Christine, the new estrogen to they fan tros, but was find over the hussing maudidens. By of drawshaitan the high band cumbling to foots, ni husto Stephanie onoma siver suppotion, a jankstwar.
Yes. I approached her more than once.
When did it start? What exactly did you discuss with her?
2 years. Ever since I learned the truth about Sydney and her marriage, I begged her countless times, humiliated myself. I begged her to let me go, to annul that overseas marriage, not to expose everything. I didn't just give in. I gave her my mother's jewelry, dividends from my private assets, over and over, just to keep the secret buried. I even voluntarily gave up my social connections, helped her network, let her manipulate me, order me around.
She never relented?
She was insatiable. Every time I compromised, she became more demanding. She told me my marriage was void from the start, that everything I had should have been hers. She didn't keep the secret out of mercy. She kept it to slowly manipulate me, drain me dry.
She endured for 2 years, giving in every time, her spirit completely exhausted. Stephanie pushed step by step, showed no mercy, left her no way out.
The seaside argument the night before the murder, was that your last time begging her?
I begged her one last time not to expose me publicly at the dinner. I promised to give up all my wealth, completely withdraw from high society, only asking to keep my last shred of dignity. But she told me to my face she would ruin me, make Sydney me the laughingstock of everyone. I wished countless times that she would just disappear. I even fantasies didn't kill her, that if she were gone, have the guts, and I don't have the ability.
Your hatred is real and intense, there's no doubt about that. There are 24 hours left. I will give the final result tomorrow.
This morning, at the coastal reef area, we discovered the suspected murder weapon, a blood-stained hardwood club. Preliminary examination shows the marks on this club are highly consistent with the compression wounds on the victim's head and the bruises on his body. It is highly likely the tool used by the killer.
Sheriff, I found something here. Hardwood, substantial weight, can be used to strike or restrain. The dark red stains are dried blood, likely the victim's.
The waves have been washing all night, erasing most traces. This club was held down by seaweed, which is why it survived. It is the most crucial physical evidence in this case.
But the killer likely discarded the weapon in a panic after the crime, hoping the waves would completely destroy the evidence. They never expected to be trapped under the seaweed and remain.
The killer is meticulous, has been planning for a long time, but they missed this one flaw.
Send it for testing immediately. Analyze the bloodstained DNA and lift any latent fingerprints from the surface. Then compare them against every suspect one by one. The killer deliberately discarded the weapon after the crime, trying to destroy the evidence and cover up their actions. But justice has a long reach. The physical evidence remains. Next, we will initiate fingerprint comparison. Whoever touched this club is the real killer. Everyone stay where you are. We will proceed to the study immediately and take everyone's fingerprints one by one. The entire comparison process will be conducted openly. No one will be exempt.
Please relax your fingertips. Press completely. Do not shake.
Not me. I never touched it. I really didn't.
Sheriff, she's emotionally fragile. Days of intense interrogation have drained her. A stress reaction is completely normal. You can't convict her based on...
Emotional outbursts are understandable, but your reaction is far too abnormal. Everyone else stayed relatively calm during the weapon comparison. Only you showed extreme panic. Why?
I'm scared. Everyone has a motive. Everyone is a suspect. Now that the murder weapon has appeared, you'll definitely blame me. I had motive. I had arguments I denied anyway, but I'm afraid you'll wrong.
Breakdown wasn't a panic of guilt. It was extreme grievance and fear. The contradiction makes the case even more confusing.
Panic does not prove guilt.
calmness does not prove innocence. Fingerprint comparisons do not lie. Objective evidence will give the final answer.